All right, live 4 seconds. CPU looks to be good. This loud mouse. I'm not really sure how to tell who's chatting with me. Let's see. Live chat, cool. 0 people watching, great. Hopefully this works. I'll just sit here and wait till someone shows up, I guess. Impromptu live stream. Just waiting till, hey, here we go, hey. Haha, people showed up in an instant. What's up, everybody? Cool. What we got? 3 people, 2 people here. Hopefully Duff will show up. I go to all his live streams. That's right, Duff. Man, well, the point of this live stream is because I was at work all day and I was watching the news a little bit in between the edit session and reading, and I've been trying really hard not to read all the insanity that's going on right now with the I heard that on YouTube, if I say the word, we'll call it the Modelo bug or something, but you know that phrase, they'll like shut me down. I don't know if that's true. I know they've been censoring. Maybe we can come up with a new name of what to call this virus. But anyways, I was just reading too much and I was really getting depressed and anxious. So I was like, you know what? We should go on a live stream and talk about fun stuff like riding PEVs, because that's way more fun than listening to the doomsday that is the media right now. So I think the first thing that I want to do is just sort of like open it up to like an ask me anything sort of scenario. So if there's anything about PEV specifically or unicycles that you want to ask, feel free to type away and ask. If there's anything that involves sort of like filmmaking, you know, since I do a lot, that's my like day job, and how that can be integrated into your riding, I'm happy to answer any questions about that as well. My process or whatever for what I do for my vlogs, which is like a pretty down and dirty thing. But anyways, let's dive in. Larry Dune says, what are your thoughts on dockless electric rental scooters? It's funny you should ask that because I have a video coming out soon on this subject. In short, garbage. It's much better to own an electric scooter or obviously unicycle or any other PEV for a couple of reasons. Number one, you have no idea what condition that thing is in by the time you get to it. So, you know, you can turn it on and then that scooter might show that it's got full battery. Oh, that's another thing. Battery level might be an issue depending on how many people are using it in your city. But battery level is a thing, but that little display doesn't tell you if the brakes are shot. So there's no way of knowing if there's something seriously wrong with that thing. There might be some screws loose, some bolts loose. You don't know just how hard the guy before you was riding that scooter. So I'm not a fan of it for that reason. Like I said, battery also, I mean, speaking of with like the virus and stuff going around, I mean, how many people before you touched those handlebars? If you're a germaphobe, you probably I've already thought about that. And yeah, dockless is insane. Like when I was living and working in China for a while, that was my first time seeing sort of like the dockless bicycle system, and that was like just awful. Because where I was staying, there would just be like a big parking lot nearby, and it would just be hundreds of strewn bikes everywhere, and that was awful. And I thought, good thing we don't have this back in the States. And then a few years later, it came up, and now we have the scooters, and I feel like without a dock, there's really no way to like make it neat and tidy. Like we have City Bike here in New York, so those are bikes that are just pedal, but I think they're getting electrified a little bit. Those are a lot more clean. Everyone in the city kind of hated them at first. It was like taking up precious parking space and it was really annoying. But the fact that they have a dock makes it like really acceptable. So I don't, if there was a way to make scooters have a docking system, I feel like it'd be better for people. But anyways, you should own. The specs you're gonna have with an owned PEV are gonna be much better for, you know, good bang for your buck essentially. That's a lot on scooters. Ruckuson 159 asked the expectations on the new Inmotion EUC. Ooh, I have high expectations. I know the guys here in New York, they don't, they expect it to be a joke, but I think it'll be cool. I think we saw with the M Super Pro from GotWay that it was like the first time we've ever seen, don't believe the Russians, they actually listen to the beeps. That thing is intentionally slower than past wheels. With GotWay, it went up and up and up, and now they finally chopped it, right? The speed for the first time, they went, whoa, we don't need it that fast. I would disagree. Anyways, all that to say is I feel like we're going into a new generation where amenities are going to start coming into play. And I'm pretty sure, oh, what's up, Cali boy? I'm pretty sure that they announced it, but yeah, there's going to be shocks on it. So a lot of guys think that's weird, but I love the idea of shocks on it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I ride every day and my knees really feel it. Sometimes I have to ice my knees. So I think if they can get the mechanics right and they do it in a way that doesn't make it feel like it's a squishy ride necessarily, but if they just have really tight shocks and done the right way, it'll be there to support you like when you hit the right kind of crazy bump. What's up, Hugo? EUC Miami's here. Events being canceled lately isn't all bad. I had a sweet ride yesterday through an empty Miami beach. That does sound nice. I'm actually from there. I'm down from Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. I grew up there, and I've seen some videos of the Miami guys, and it doesn't seem like a great ride like on the beach, like, you know, like on A1A or whatever. Like it kind of seems convoluted with just the slow traffic, you know, like right on the beach. But if you had like empty roads, that's got to be sick. Probably like your dream scenario if you're a Floridian for sure. What's up, Ustride? What's going on? You live in Boston, right? Is that where you're at? Summer NYC events happening? Yeah, as soon as it hits summertime, there's like rides every single day. The hardcore guys here that do like delivery for like Postmates and Caviar and Uber Eats and stuff on their wheels, they're out every night, and between shifts they tend to do some rides. But in the summer, it's like every weekend there's something crazy. Long distance rides, short rides around the city, some kind of races. But for sure, something I should talk about is, I know it's hard for people to understand this, but I will try to explain it one more time. So my YouTube channel is called evX. It's just my personal, for Mickey, my personal YouTube channel that I called that because I wanted to dedicate it to all things electric, whether that's unicycles or e-boards or scooters or bikes or whatever. But the company Everywhere, my friend Chris and Rue started. It's a brand. It's like a clothing brand for guys who ride any kind of electric vehicle, like a PEV. I'm now sort of part of them. I was sort of like an ambassador for a while. So I know a lot of guys get confused. Like, what is it? EVX, Everywhere? It's two different things. It's like Everywhere is like Nike, and I was wearing Nike gear for a while. And then they were like, hey, you want to be part of our team? And I was like, sure. But I'm still, my channel is EVX. So hopefully that separates it. All that said, Everywhere is going to be hosting a big event, I think in the summertime. It really just depends if it's spring or summer, depending on this virus and stuff, but it's going to be an alley cat race. So it's just going to be this race with all PEVs throughout the city. It's going to be a pretty big event. I know we've even talked about doing our version of an LA EUC games in NYC, but that's a much bigger undertaking for the guys at Everywhere to put on. So with the right sponsors and stuff, it can happen, but that'll be some of the bigger stuff. Anyways. Um, hopefully it's much more faster. I just like the design of the Inmotion. Yeah, man, everyone likes Inmotion. I've said in my V8F video that Inmotion feels like their stuff feels like an iPhone. Feels like a product. Feels like something you could actually buy and not like, you know, those of you who ride GotWay know GotWay feels like they just jammed a bunch of power into a shell and hoped it stuck together, you know? I mean, we like it. We like the power, but yeah, it definitely feels like a thing. Oh, Jason is here. What's up, Jason? Yeah, I was really depressed today, Jason, just like sitting at work, reading all this news. I was like, let's talk about fun stuff that has nothing to do with that. What's up, Jerry? Can you contact me for some everywhere stickers? You can. If you're local in New York, I can get it to you. We're just giving them out for free. But once the everywhere website is up, it's like we have all the gear. Actually, the clothing is over there. You can kind of see it in the background. That's some samples we have here in house, but it's all set up and ready. Just the website's still under construction. So once that's up, you can purchase some stuff from there, and then we will have your address and information, and we'll send you a bunch of stickers for free. So if you're not local, that's the only way to get it if you want some stickers. But yeah. Let's see. Liper says, love Inmotion too, but yeah, speed is lacking quite a lot. 50 kilometers an hour is perfect, I think. Yeah, I think like the rumor is that the V12 from Inmotion is probably going to be somewhere close to 35 miles an hour, but like any Inmotion wheel, that might come with a caveat of severe speed throttling starting at like 80%. Like I know when the V10F came out, it was like really bad. I forget what the top speed was advertised when that first came out, but I think over the years they brought down where the speed throttle starts. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you own one, let me know. But yeah, there's going to be probably some caveats with the Inmotion stuff. But I've talked to the guys at Inmotion and it looks really promising. Yeah. Oh, it caught up finally. Nice. What are the wheels that you guys... Oh, Sean's here. Show us the secret Inmotion pick. I can't. Not yet. But there's other wheels coming out from the other companies too. That Kingsong has a wheel coming. GotWay has a wheel coming. I'm pretty sure... I'm not sure if I can disclose about the Kingsong one, but the GotWay one, I think it's just going to be their 20-inch MSX. Which, what do you guys think about that? I feel like the MSX works very well at 18 inches. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure like why the 20 inches would be better. I don't know. What do you think? Let's see. I bought a Kingsong 16X 2020 model. Did you hear anything about it? Any big changes to the 16X? No, but you know what? Kingsong's been letting me down. I feel like their firmware is having a lot of issues where in the past it wasn't this bad, especially with the 16X. And if you're a user now, let me know if it's having issues at the top end. But the one that I had no issues. That firmware was, I don't know, it was working just fine. I would push the 16X to the top end, that 31 miles an hour. I got really good at riding inside that tilt back. Now, if you know this or you didn't, maybe this is coming to grips with the reality, but the Kingsong they're faking it. It's not a real 31. If you clock it, the Kingsong 31 is more like a 29 miles an hour. I was a big denier of this for the longest time, but it is true. I think to some extent there's some area of, you know, like gray between all the companies, but definitely Kingsong I think is limiting your top speed. So, but yeah, mine I could totally get it to sit right at 31. Had no issues, had no cutout, had no weird pedal dippy things. But I hope anyone who has one now, it's been worked out. But I just feel like Kingsong must have hired like a bad developer or a bad coder. Something's been going weird over there. Can't wait to get it. No. I don't want anyone to get this awful disease. Yeah, as long as it's a 2,500 watt hour motor, I'm cool with it. Yeah, it might be the thing, but I think the trade-off with these 2,500 watt hour motors is the KV, the rotations. I mean, at least that's what it was for the MSP, and it might be like that is it with that motor. That's that's giving the problem of what we're not used to of the rotations per second or whatever KV is measured in. So you might have some speed issue, drawing a lot more power, I think. So you might have some speed issues if any of the new wheels have that motor. I don't know. I'm not for sure on that. What's up with the new Kingsong? The new. I don't know if I can say anything yet, but I will say we might see a little battle between Inmotion and Kingsong this year. I hope we do. That's always good, right? Like if you have a little competition, you're gonna get some good stuff. I hope we see that. Ustride said the 20-inch, is that a Monster? Oh yeah, that's a Monster, right? I thought it was an MSX. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but as Jason McNeil's in here, he could probably answer. But I thought it was gonna be a 20-inch MSX. I don't know why you would degrade the Monster to 20. Either way, I don't know. Cali Boys. Oh no, Owen Wilsey. It would have to be 20-inch, 100-volt, 2200. Yeah, of course. 100-volt at this point for these wheels is good. Not just for speed, but for sort of the ceiling. If you're a guy who's going 20 miles an hour and you're like, I'm good with that, that's fine, but eventually you might want to go a little more. And if you're one who wants to ride at 30 miles an hour, that 100-volt giving you that even more ceiling is better, because if you're like comfortably riding at 30 miles an hour on any wheel, and you hit a nice bump, it pops you up in the air, you get a little free spin, it might go up a few miles an hour. Also, like if you just start cruising downhill at the same speed and you go a little bit faster, you're going to want that ceiling as far away from your comfortable or fast-paced riding speed as possible. So I would agree, 100-volt all the way here on out for the more aggressive wheels. Obviously, the smaller price point wheels, that doesn't really make much sense. Sort of beginner wheels, the 14-inch wheels, doesn't make sense. But yeah, I would agree. 2200 watt hour, yeah, it seems to be a new trend. I think eWheels offers a 2200 watt hour MS Pro, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, what am I catching up here? Yeah, Sean agrees. 20-inch MSX coming. No details yet. Jerry says, yeah, the MSX news to you. Yeah, for sure. If you can go 45, I agree. I hope there's not some limiter on that. At least give us the old MSX specs, at least. Or a little bit more, obviously. Yeah, of course, 126 volt. We want that. Of course I want that. Of course all the New York City guys want that. As I just said, if we had 126 volt, that ceiling of power is a little bit higher so that we can go a little bit faster. A lot of guys would go, why on earth would you want to go faster? Just because, man, like once you hit a certain speed, it's a drug, it's a little more. If you just started out and you're comfortable on your 14-inch wheel going 18 miles an hour, I get why that seems insane to you. But if you ride an MSX or something of that nature, eventually you're going to want to go faster. And another thing to be said too is people who live in bigger cities like LA or, well, I don't know about LA, maybe. Specifically New York City, you're riding with a lot of people all the time. You're sort of like pushing each other to do cooler things, cooler tricks, go faster. So I feel like that's what sort of been driving that power ceiling to be higher. James Mucklin, come on, Mickey. I feel like you're probably asking about still the Kingsong. Yes, I know Owen is Cali Boy. Sometimes I forget his last name. Who's KS69? Get him on here. He knows a lot. Yeah, let's get him in here. Where's my face mask? Oh, I have one. Should I get it? I don't know if this is like distasteful or not, but this is my face mask right here. Should I do it through this? This is my unmedically face mask thing that I bought in like January when I thought it was funny that this virus was coming, but now it's not funny. 84-volt wheel shred. Yeah, of course they do. Nobody knows who KS69 is. Oh, is he the Kingsong media rep? Is that Ulf? Oh, well, get Ulf then. Jesse says, I want better motor control with torque settings in the future wheels, but there needs to be mountain wheels. I think it's a good idea. I don't know like how safe that is, because I feel like I don't know. I am not a coder. I'm not a developer. I don't know jack crap about that, but I feel like if you give us too much control, there might be more room for people smashing their faces. I don't know. But yeah, I think some more settings could be interesting. I know a lot of guys like Chooch have been asking for years to just give us a setting to turn off that 45-degree angle cutoff, because he does a lot of like trail riding on like dirt bike tracks and stuff where he wants to go up on a bank. That would be good, but there's a lot of people who hate that. I know I've talked to Sean at length about this, and he thinks anybody who goes on a bank turn in a skate park is a complete idiot. Ironically, he did that with his monster one time and had a pretty epic jump. But yeah, I think it could be cool. Yeah, more ways to smash the face. That's a good thing. Yeah, as long as you smash your face while you're in clown makeup. Yeah, I will say, in the midst of all this insanity going on, New York City is about to go under like serious lockdown. And the one thing that is nice is PEV riders don't feel as trapped. Like here in New York, like something like 80 to 90% of people take the subway to get to and from work. So having a PEV really gives you the freedom to go do what you need to do around the city, and you're not relying on being in a big crowd of people on a bus or a subway or whatever. I'm even kind of like afraid to get in a cab right now. But yeah, I have a lot of PEVs hanging out in here. I've got some scooters, an electric bike over here. My Nikola is over there somewhere. You can see it. Yeah, so I kind of have my pick. I'm trying to get my wife to use an electric scooter to go to work for the next few days. I think that they're going to shut her work down though. Yeah, safety for the pedestrians is a concern if you remove the 45-degree cutoff. Yeah, I think that's why they don't do it. Because like, especially here in New York, plenty of guys have ate it in traffic. Can you imagine if that thing didn't shut off while it was still sideways? It could be dangerous. I've been trying to set the tilt back at 30 miles per hour with the EUC app, but it's not working. I'll keep testing. I think that's because you can't set the GotWay tilt back above 30. Like, that's it. Yeah. So that's why I don't think you'll be successful in that. What percentage are they stored at? What are you talking about, Jesse? All my PEVs? I have used them a lot lately. Like I'm doing some reviews on stuff. So they're usually close to 100 when I'm done. I put them back to 100%. I'm sure there's like long-term, some guys probably have an idea of long-term what's better percentage-wise to store it at. But I'm like actively using all of these. So it's not a big deal. And when I stop, when I'm not, they're probably going to go back to whoever sent them to me. So I won't carry that many in-house. GotWay tilt back is 48. Okay, yeah, so just under 30, I guess. Is that 30? EUC will let you set the tilt back at whatever speed you want. See, Flyboy, that's what Ustrive was saying, is he can't. He's been trying. I think GotWay's still overrides that. Yeah, like I said, Jesse, I'm not storing them long term. I'm just using them. They're in house to do reviews on and stuff. So every day I'm going out and shooting a little bit with them. So they're actively being used. I generally don't sell my stuff, Jesse. I ride my stuff to the ground and then I buy a new one. Flyboy says it worked for him. His is set to 42. But to be honest, Flyboy, if yours is set to 42 miles an hour tilt back, you're asking for it, man. Because I'm pretty sure that the tilt back is using more power in that moment to slow you down. Especially if you slam into it. It's like, what do they call those little balls that go back and forth on your desk? With the force you push into that tilt back, it's going to kick back. I mean, Kingsong I think is one of the strongest. GotWay's not as strong, but I feel like you would just wreck if you smash into a tilt back at 42. So really, beeps are a much better option, especially with Darkness Bot, and I've been pleading with the EUC guys to get us functions like Darkness Bot and then put it on iOS. That's my dream scenario. It seems like the guy, I don't know his name, capitulated recently and said, hey, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to try to... oh yeah, because everybody hated the beeps in the EUC World app because they yelled at you and said some phrase, like slow down or something. So nobody used it, and I told him, like, dude, you got to kill that. Just beeps are fine, make it sound like an alarm clock and we're good. And he did add that into the app, and he said the next update, when it comes out, you'll be able to turn off those, the voice screaming at you. What did you love, Ustride? He made it an option, which is good. Yeah, so has the new release of EUC World come out? I don't use it yet because I'm on iOS, and he still hasn't put it on iOS yet. But I would love to see that in iOS very soon. And this might be a little cocky of me to say this, but I feel like it's not that hard to just hire someone who can just take your app and port it into iOS. Even if it means he just has to hire that porter, that engineer or whatever you call them, a coder every time. At least give us one version of it in there, and like maybe every 10 updates you hire that guy again. Look, I've told the guy EUC World, a lot of us have paid like $7 or $8 for the full Darkness Bot. I'll gladly pay that for his. Seems like his is a better app. So, man, get it in iOS. I will pay like $7 or whatever for that app. Malton Barnes says, do you think a 16X would be a good complement to a 100-volt MSX? Yeah, I think so. I think it's a fun little wheel. It's not going to be your fast wheel like your 100-volt MSX, but it'll be your like just scooting around town kind of wheel. I loved it. I know people, why'd you sell it? Because I just needed a little more speed, but I think it's a very fun wheel. So I think it would be a good compliment for sure. How safe is it to ride my 16X at 31 miles an hour? I have my tiltback set at 29 miles per hour right now. I can't speak to that anymore. Like I kind of said earlier, when I had mine, the firmware was really good, and I, knock on wood, had zero problems with it, and I would ride it at 31, have my tiltback set to 31 in New York City traffic. I had no issues, but you might need to test your wheel. Set it at 31 and get padded up, ride. The thing is too, a lot of guys, we say it to just troll people, but you have to know your wheel. So I knew that when I was getting up to 31, I can't smash into it. I knew that once I hit about like 25, 26, 27, I had to just slowly, right when you start to feel that tilt back, you just gradually go up into it. So if a guy on like a Nikola was next to me, he would kill me when it comes to speeding past me. But I knew that if I wanted to keep up with that pace, 26, 27 miles an hour, I wouldn't go as fast into it. I would gradually speed up into that top speed, and like I got really good on my 18XL and my 16X riding inside the tilt back. So your feet are like this essentially. And I knew I got comfortable. I knew what that felt like. I knew how safe it could be. John Labernick says, do you strictly use the speed alarms in Darkness Bot, or do you set any amp alarms? I strictly use the speed alarms, and I rarely ride below 50%. If I know I'm going to be doing a long distance thing and I'm below 50%, I will drop my speed alarm. I keep it at 39 normally, so that if I do hit 39 and blow through it, I can tap 40, 41, and my wheel is fine on my Nikola. I have a 100-volt Nikola, by the way. But if I'm sub 50, I will set it a little bit lower, like 35 miles an hour for the alarm. I can't... Actually, the Nikola beeper is pretty good. It freaked me out one time. I was trying to speed on purpose to hit like over 40 miles an hour, and since the darkness spot was set at 39, I heard the actual Nikola beeps at 37, and it freaked me out. I thought darkness spot had failed. Like, it's actually happened a couple of times where my iPhone was not syncing right, and it would like disconnect from the app. So I got freaked out because I heard the Nikola beeps. But yeah, if you're riding, I rarely ride sub 50% battery, but if I do, I'll reduce it. So I'm not surprised that Android has something first. CJ Spiker was saying, yeah, I'm not. He's surprised. From what I do in my line of work, and I do some VR stuff, the Android is like open platform. So like, if you're like a hacker, you can dive in. iOS is so protected, and you have to go through so many hoops to get into the Apple Store that I totally get why Android was first. UC Miami says, I recently dented my rim on my Inmotion V10. Ugh. Probably when I jumped a curb. That'll do it. Especially if you're a little heavier. Like, I weigh like 170-ish. If you weigh above that and you smack it hard enough, you definitely... And if your tire pressure is low, you'll put a dent in it. Does anyone know if they're going to come out with a harder metal for the rims? I doubt it. To be honest, no one likes to hear this, but like, it's kind of hard to dent your rim. I would guess you are most likely my weight or a little heavier. Your tire pressure was too low and you hit that curb pretty hard. So tire pressure will save you most of the time. I ride my Nikola at 35, but when I had my 18XL back in the day, I rode that at 40 PSI. So I think depending on your weight, as close to 40 as you can get without it feeling like you're riding a beach ball is going to be great for obviously speed and maneuverability when it's not wet, and it's going to save you in a situation like that. Cali Boy says, get an M10. What is with the weird love for the M10? It's like some bizarre cycle like ripped jeans. Everybody on the internet recently was showing off the M10. I'm sure it's fun, but it's like child's wheel. I don't know. Eddie says, I have my 16X set tilt back at 30 miles an hour and no issues. Well, Eddie, I think you and I probably had some of the first batch too, so we must have got real lucky. I sold it. What are you replacing it with? If you go back and watch my vlogs, you can see I sold the 16X at the end of the Am I Leaving Kingsong video. I sold it to my friend Andrew, who lives here in the city. And I bought a Nikola 100 volt. So that's my daily, that's all I have right now. I'm not like Marty, I don't have like 25 wheels. Why don't I have an M10 in my collection? Because it's a kid's wheel, clown. It's a kid's wheel. I hit the tilt back all the time on the 16X, that's why I went with the Nikola 100 volt. Yeah, exactly. Those of us who are starting to hit that tilt back all the time, it was getting annoying. Now, I almost never hit beeps or hit top end unless I'm going to cut out tunnel with the guys and want to go fast. So it's nice to never hear the beeps. You're never hitting the top end. That is really like a comfortable ride. I think if you progress and you have that, if it's a drug like it is for me, I kept going a little faster wheel, a little faster wheel, a little better wheel, and it was still eventually I would smack into that top end and hit those tilt backs. But it's nice to not have it. Ustride says, Eddie, 30 miles per hour is no problem. Problem is above that. I mean, you've only got 1 mile an hour above that. It's like, well, looks like Ustride's getting MSP pretty soon. Sean says, whoa, Jason, you're here also? Yeah, he's here. Josh Junga says, do you know what the 4 fast beeps are that happen on the 16X? It seems to happen when I'm accelerating around 40 to 42 kilometers an hour. The battery was about 50-60% under load. Yeah, man, if you're down to 50%, you might be getting those, the final 4 or 5 beeps earlier than expected. I don't know where they're starting the speed throttle at. I'm pretty sure they lifted it to at least 50%. When they first released it, it was like 30% or 40% battery. But I know that to be safe, they really cranked it up high and then they brought it back down. So you might be hitting that right at that battery percentage to where you're getting those beeps earlier than normal. Eddie says, I hit 37 miles per hour on the Nikola, got the 80% beep. Exactly, that's where I get mine too. Don't like going any faster than that on the Nikola, we'll be pushing it. Well, I mean, I've hit 40 quite a few times, 41 as well, and I'm guessing at 42, that's it, lights out. But I wasn't trying to push to 41. Like I said, I set my darkness spot beeps to 39, and then I just like pushed through it a little bit. I didn't have an issue. Looks like hoping that'll get here Friday. Can't wait to see Scooter Barbie Sean. Why no M10? Well, I guess you're fulfilling what I asked you. I said, come troll my live chat, and you're succeeding, my friend. Yes, Callie boy, you are a child. Sean says, Tom, Ghost, love the M10. Can't seem to stop talking about it. How good is it? My audio doesn't match. Oops, sorry. Yeah, is everything working? I kind of haven't checked what's been going on here, but sorry. Yeah, get me on an M10-3. No way. I rode Dimitri here in Brooklyn. His daughter has one. I rode hers for like a hot second on a big group ride. We did group rides in the old days when it was Chris Yim group rides on the West Side Highway. His daughter was riding. I tried it at the Brookfield Mall, and it was weird. Well, back then, I think it's a 3-inch tire, right, or close to it. That was also very bizarre. It was before I ever tried a 3-inch width tire. Any plans on coming to Toronto? Soon? With this junk in the air? No. At some point, yeah, man, I like Canada. I think it would be cool to come and do a ride with you guys there. Probably a few of us would do it. But honestly, we need to wait till the world gets back to normal first. And I need some extra money in the pocket so I can do it. But yeah, it sounds fun. I was talking to, I don't know if he was in Toronto or not, but I was talking to Jack Wensu a lot, and he was saying you guys have a lot of cool trails and stuff out there, and the city is pretty cool, like New York City, like the streets and traffic and stuff is really awesome, so that would be fun. Sean's talking to Jason. I'm gonna duct tape it to my feet, huh? What's the worst crash I've had so far on my uni? That's tough. So technically, I've had a few crashes. I've had some other unicyclists hit me from behind at 30 miles an hour on a bridge, on the Manhattan Bridge, and my unicycle basically, I was standing on it and it went whoosh, and then I fell. That was bad. I got hit by an SUV once. That was, thank God I wasn't sitting. I thought about sitting on that wheel that day. I think if I had, that would have been the end of me. So that probably, I had no scratches, no nothing. Then the only other time I had a serious crash was when that cyclist, those of you who know me here in New York City, there was a cyclist on the Manhattan Bridge when it was icy out, coming the opposite direction. It's like there's no barrier between you and the other direction of the bikers, or the cyclists, and he was coming, he tried to overtake the guy he was behind. He peeked out to overtake him, and then he saw me coming, freaked out, jammed his wheel back, slid out, covering the entire bike lane, and I had no choice but to jump off my wheel, and I ended up sliding it out. I had no scratches, no issue. So really, actually I think I had a small black eye, but my helmet saved me, man. That's probably the worst as far as injury goes. The most frightening one was when the other unicyclist hit me from behind, because I was just riding just fine, and then all of a sudden, I was laid out. But none of those times did I have any kind of serious injuries, but I pad up. My audio's off by a second or two. I'm honestly not sure how to address that. I wonder if it'll let me address it here. Let me check real quick. Is there a latency issue? I don't know. We'll come back to it. Sorry about that, guys. Probably because I have like my nice DSLR and it's not like a cheap webcam. Hey, I just got the M10 III. I'm Larry Z. Mickey needs this. Okay. Ha, the M10, I guess it would. What's up, DJ Colin? Who are you? I don't know your YouTube username. Do we know each other in person? Come on, flight tickets are on super sale. Perfect timing to go somewhere far to ride. I am not leaving. I'm staying in my office in my house. Is Boosted dead? Yes, very dead. That's what happens when you have a bloated tech startup who CEOs are making tons of money. You have a giant staff, and you have that money from the venture capitalists with a serious return on your head. What they have $75 million that they were given over the years. They couldn't turn a profit. I mean, I don't envy them. Seating is definitely more risky in case of emergency situations, for sure. I usually seat when I know for sure the road is safe to ride. The video clip, yes. So the video clip of that fall is going to be coming out in my safety video coming out this year. I tried for a hot minute to be the guy that puts out videos once a week or twice or every other week, but I've just determined I'm going to put out videos when they're ready. I'm just going to put out good quality content when I have it ready for you. I've got a whole list of like 25 videos for this year that I'm systematically getting through. But this virus thing has really set stuff back. Yeah, but I did capture that wipeout with the cyclist. I had my chest GoPro cam running, like weirdly. I rarely use it. I was going on a Christmas ride, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna capture this, it'll be fun footage. Stephen Haynes says, just ordered my M10 recently, seemed like the perfect trick wheel with a low price tag. Yeah, go to ewheels.com, he might sell it. Also need a GotWay in my life after switching to the 16X as my daily driver. Yeah, definitely. Need that power. Try turning it off and on. Yes, turn off the live stream. Malton says, define that the MSP is really that much proved over the MSX. I'm not sure. Are you saying the MS Pro, it's beefier for sure than the MSX in a lot of ways, but not faster. It's definitely, you're gonna, like that hill I climbed in my video, it's a 30 to 35% incline. So it's a serious hill, and it would, like, basically 2 seconds, it murdered the MSX. So you'll really feel that torque, but it's seriously at the cost of safe, high cruising speed. Since Marty's M10 video, it's been flying off the shelves. Well, great. Marty did a good job then. I'm sure he got into the nitty-gritty details of it. Not just a layoff. What support can I get? What are you talking about, Jesse? What are you talking about? Is eWheels testing their wheels for the COVID-19? I'm pretty sure he is. When it comes through, Jason systematically wipes down every wheel, every single part, including all the capacitors, including motor wires. He wipes it all down with the Clorox wipes. Does Marty still pay for wheels, or does he have enough credit to just say, I want that one? I'm pretty sure Marty pays for every wheel. I don't know if that's good or bad, but he does. I just received my M10 III today. Thanks, Jason. This is a very successful troll. I like it. So is it true that GotWay stopped making more MSXs, MSP only now? I'm pretty sure that's true. I mean, Jason could say he probably has the last giant stock of MSX. So if you need an MSX in your life, hit up eWheels. I don't know that a lot of people will have them pretty soon. I'm trying to figure out how I can adjust this audio. Stream options. Let's see. Oh, stream info. Let's see. Live stream. I'm afraid to get too crazy with this audio stuff. Well, hold on. Let me see what this is Livestream. Properties, advanced audio properties. Maybe this is it. Okay, volume, sync. If it's off by 2 seconds. All right, let's try this. Are you ready? We're going to sync. Okay, live stream audio, cool. How many, hey Google, how many milliseconds are in a second?
1 second is equal to 1,000 milliseconds.
Whoa, okay, let's try this. Okay, I think advanced audio properties. I did 1,000 milliseconds. Let me know if this helps. Let's get back to see what your comments are. That worked. It's good enough now. It's working. Stop it. Stop. It's working. The high speed of the MS Pro. So the audio is working now. That 1,000 milliseconds helped. Cool. Now it's not. Well, maybe you just have bad internet. Or maybe I do. I didn't change anything. All I did was do the 1,000. But I have a sneaky suspicion. Okay, I'll change the setting back. No problem. 0. Okay, setting is set back. Well, I'm leaving it at 0 because I feel like you're trolling me now. And that's okay. Let's see. Oh, text message. My sister is saying, don't forget to clean your phone. Yeah, guys, clean your phone. Especially with this virus going around. Cool. It's working now. Well, nothing really changed. Mario. Hey, what's up, Mario? A one-wheel lover. NYCUC. Dimitri, what's up? Is it true? I think that's you, right? Is it true? Is it you or your daughter has the M10 III? Everyone seems to love that wheel recently. Ha! The Chinese wheel manufacturer's asking Jason from EWheels if he wants to buy masks. It's so hard as an American to not want to make a joke out of it, but it's really serious. The mask should fix the lag. Yeah, I've got the low latency option on. We'll see. Oh, this could be fun. You guys want to see one of the pieces from the Everywhere spring collection coming out? Again, as soon as the website is up and running, they'll be on sale. Yeah, Marty, get on that EUC. It's the best way to get around. I saw Kuji's video. It was very sobering. Especially because I've been to those places that he was showcasing. All right, let me pull out. I think this is going to be the favorite. All right, so this is it's probably going to be like the favorite hoodie from everybody. But it's a take on an old video from back in the day starring one of the Baldwin brothers. It was, they wore a t-shirt from an old skate company, a wheel company for skateboarding. Skateboarding or inline skating? I forget. Anyways, their shirt said, "Your wheels suck." But this is for the unicycle lovers, and maybe if you're a scooter lover, this is for you too. Maybe if you hate EUCs, buy this hoodie. You can say your wheel sucks. And then on the back here, you can see we've got our smaller Everywhere logo right here. And it says Everywhere, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Bronx, and Queens right up here under the hood. So that's kind of a nice little additional touch for this hoodie. It's like medium thickness quality, so it'll be really good for the fall and, you know, maybe dead of winter if you layer up. But yeah, that's this hoodie. We have a lot of other cool stuff. Let me see what I got here. Okay, here's some of the hats. So these are the hats we're selling. I think we sent one to Marty. He's got a dad hat. That's a different design. I don't have one of those in house right now, but this is the Everywhere hats. It's got this nice plastic clasp on the back. It's adjustable, and it's got like a flat brim, so you can kind of see. A lot of us here, the guys at Everywhere, we came from fixed gear bikes, so a lot of the style is kind of inspired by that kind of stuff. And then we have a camo version too, so that's nice. Same clasp on the back, and that's kind of nice. Like sometimes when I was riding without a helmet, which you should never do, just cruising around the hood, if I wanted to take this off, I would then clip it to my backpack or my pants or whatever. Let's see what we should. Mario, we should hang out, do the trade thing. Didn't you guys trade and do a video before? Anything more positive messages? Sure. $17. All right, what's up, Five's Hair? You're a new rider. You want to hang with us? And we have a 9-bot 1C plus. Get rid of that and buy a real wheel. Don't faceplant. Be safe. The Segway Mini Lite. I think I have a Mini Pro here in the office too. I need a celebrity to wear my stuff. Well, if you know any celebrities to wear it, I will happily send it to them. I sent one to Marty. He's a celebrity. Do a fixed gear video. Yeah, we totally could. The other night when we were riding in the city, there was a fixed gear guy riding with us. Keeping up too. Who's the next rider profile? I think the next rider profile depends who I get edited first. I've shot a few, but it might be Chris Yim. That one, I still have a few more things to shoot with him. But yeah, he's gonna be, I think, the next one. Definitely not Cali Boy. I gotta do one on Alex too. Oh, I'll show you another one. So these are the jogger pants we have coming out. And if you know anything about the guys in New York City, we all hang out at the Kung Fu Tea bubble tea spot for some odd reason. It's at St. Mark's in the city. So this is the joggers. There's a matching hoodie as well. But these are the joggers that say Everywhere on them. And then in Chinese, it says Everywhere as well. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully it's in focus. Yeah, it's got these nice little pockets, or a little gray in there. They're really comfy. Like I said, like medium weight, and there's like a matching hoodie to it too. So this is the matching hoodie for it. It's just got the bubble tea logo on there, so it looks just like the Kung Fu Tea stuff. It's like where it all started for us here. Do we have a thing? No, there's nothing on the back of this one, but there is lettering on the side here. So you can kind of see it says Everywhere NYC, hopefully. And it says it in Chinese right here. Why Chinese? Because all of our wheels and scooters and bikes are all made in China. So yeah, there's that. There's not just black too. There's all different colors. It's not just black. There'll be a few color options, like black, white, tan, pink. I think. Yeah, there's orange. There's some options for all this stuff. Tashawn needs a rider profile. Tashawn has one. Well, actually, we had a date to shoot it, and Tashawn kept having to bail. He's just doing a lot of crazy stuff in his life right now. So his will happen for sure. He was the first person I reached out to. Yeah, Chris is the secret uni master. That's kind of the framing I have of that video. You heard the Broadway bomb was canceled? Did you? Well, we'll make our own uni bomb then. Why would they cancel the Broadway bomb? Yeah, you tried the bubble tee shirt is kind of nice. So we have t-shirts as well, short sleeve, long sleeve, and hoodies. Right. Yeah, and then there's jogger pants and the hats, and we have winter hats too. Oh, man, is it already been? What month is the Broadway bomb? Is it really like coming up that soon? Has it really been a whole year? I remember it being kind of cold. It was so sunny that day. Everyone's footage from last year's Broadway bomb. I shot it too. I did nothing with the footage though. Everyone's footage was just so blown out. It was so bright you couldn't compete with the sun. Jason said it seems like the manufacturers are focusing on only the larger 18-inch wheels, no 10 to 16 inches that he's aware of in the works. Yeah, I mean, I thought was it 2019 or 2018 when when the Nikola and the 16X came out. That was a fun year. I thought that was a really great year of unicycles. It really felt like a really big change and an upgrade to that sort of like mid-tier that made it almost feel closer to that like top tier level. I mean, look, my daily driver now is a Nikola. I never thought a 16-inch wheel would be my daily driver. But the 18 stuff, yeah, I really just can't wait to see this shocks thing from Inmotion. If they get it right, it could be amazing. And I think the bigger question too people have with the new Inmotion wheel is it going to be 100 volt? I hope so. I cannot say either way. Oh, we know, Jason. I already teased that. Lazy Rolling is having a fire sale right now. Code Daniel40 gets 40% off everything, including their 2020 hoodie. To be honest, I'm not sold on Lazy Rolling stuff. Their armored hoodies, I sort of personally feel like if I'm going to have armor on of some sort, some kind of padding, it needs to be able to be stationary in place with no chance of it moving out of the way. I feel like with a hoodie, if I'm going to wear a hoodie, I'm not going to wear it skin tight. I'm going to wear it like a little bit loose and a little comfortable, in which case, surely that stuff is going to move. I mean, I know guys who have it here. I'm not really a huge fan of their stuff. I'm not saying it's bad quality. I just personally, I don't go there. I like my gear to be stationary. Yeah, I know that, like Jason said, they're really conservative in their engineering. We know this, but we hope they just feel the pressure to catch up to GotWay, even though weirdly GotWay is feeling the pressure to downgrade down to everyone else's level, which is so strange. But all the LA riders love it. They love that MS Pro. Obviously, I was not in love with the MS Pro. It's not a bad wheel. Like I said, at the end of that video, I kind of wrapped it up and said, it's not horrible. It's got a lot of cool amenities and a lot of stuff that's useful to a lot of guys, but for me, for my riding style, wasn't my cup of tea. Yeah, so as Cali Boy just mentioned, Owen Wilson, Wilsey, how do you say that? Wilsey? I don't know your last name. A lot of us here in New York have bought these flick buttons, which are really great. They look like little tiny, like thumb-sized mechanical button. It reminds me of Tile a little bit. You know, the Tile things in case you lose your cell phone, but it's an alarm that runs through your Bluetooth of your phone, and you can run it through your Bluetooth speaker in your wheel, or if you have a speaker like me, and it's a alarm. It's like a, what do you call it? A horn. Very useful if you live in a big city, or I guess if you're riding in Miami on the beachfront. It's like a really viable loud horn. Mario says, you think it's also a speed thing? My one wheel is relatively slow. Maybe the hoodie wouldn't be an issue being loose. I don't think it's a speed thing. Also, my personal thoughts on gear is you need zero friction for the gear to really help you. So I don't know if my stuff is here. I think it's in the other room, but like my knee shin pads, my wrist guards, they I'm a firm believer in the hard plastic hitting the pavement and sliding, and that being what saves you. Let's see. Yeah, so that's the other thing about those hoodies is it's tons of friction. It's just the textile hitting the ground. But if Lazy Rolling wants to send me a free hoodie, maybe I'll change my tune and be a sellout. No, sure, send me a hoodie if you want. I'll give it a shot, give it a real test. But yeah, I've never really rode with it. Maybe it can be stationary. Maybe I'm wrong and it can stay still. But I still think that the outer hard plastic stuff is what's going to be helpful, especially if you're on cement. You want that sort of just like a hockey puck. The more you slide, the less you hurt yourself. Yeah, what else do you guys want to talk about? I like the gear topic. That's a good topic. We're losing them. See you later, Jason. But yeah, for the one wheel, I personally would. We troll everyone on the internet and say that those things are a faceplant machine and we would never get on them. I stand by that troll. Uh, I get it. It's got a huge following. I get it. But I think all you have to do is watch the video of Adam Savage from Tested, aka Mythbusters, eating it hard on his one wheel with no gear on, by the way, to know that did not look like a fun fall. It looks like any fall at speed on those things, if you hit it just right, you're just breaking your collarbone. Whereas like on the unicycle, like there's a lot of ways to fall, and you're not tied up on the skateboard style scenario. So a lot of guys learn how to fall in different ways. Like I end up falling like kind of on my side, which kind of sucks. But that's why I bought like Kevlar short to go into my pants. So it's like on my hip, there's Kevlar. To Sean, when he falls, amazingly, he like just will jump up in the air and slide on his butt. So maybe he should get some plastic on his butt. But there's a lot more options with the unicycle because you're not standing oddly and you're not tied into anything like an e-board or anything like that. Mario says, well, my goal recently is to navigate the EUC one-wheel riffs. Good luck. I understand the critiques. However, what made me really want one was Andrew Stroh. Who's he? Send me a video of his. He displays a level of skill that seems almost impossible. Put a link in here. I'll take a look. With the EUC, you can at least control how you fall. Yeah, exactly. On an imperfect machine. Precisely. But hey, One Wheel was smart. They have a patent on their stuff, and I don't think they'll be going out of business anytime soon. Yeah, I think you could be impressed by anybody on any kind of PEV if they really have mastered it and like learned how it functions and jives with their body. Like some guys who ride electric scooters here in the city have Dualtrons, these wild scooters. They impress me with how crazy they can get. I would be a little afraid. I know Alien Rides tried out the latest Ryan scooter, and he was racing a car. Freaked me out that thing is so fast with the torque that his wheels could barely stay on the ground. And I don't think he's a light guy either. He at least was my weight, 170, and the tires kept spinning out. He couldn't stay on the ground. It was so powerful. I think it's because they're like only 6-inch wheels, but that was crazy. Yes, sir. His stuff is long, 20-minute rides, but he goes 25 miles an hour easily. What's up, Earl? What's going on? Did you get you got a new shell on your Nikola, right? Looking all pretty. Mario says, so that mastery is what attracts me like a restrictive art form, having to perform within a narrow restriction. I guess, or you could just be free and carve to your heart's content with an EUC. Seriously, like, there are so many situations you can get in and out of in a fun way or a save your life kind of way in an EUC that you could never on a one wheel or an e-board. Nice new shell. Mario, what is he filming with? I mean, see if it'll let you drop a link in this live stream. What is he filming with to capture just like a 360 camera? Yeah, you tried, of course. Mario knows this. Mario knows that the one wheel can't compare, and so he's just making a little effort right now to put up this, hey, it's a mastery of, that once you master the EUC, you'll be like, I was nuts. That thing was silly. But the EUC specs definitely blow the one wheel out of the water, and the ride I think is more fun, less dangerous, and the benefit is you can take it anywhere. I like to paint the picture of like when I'm at work here in my office, well, I ride from my house or apartment to the office, I just stash it over there or wherever. So if it was you in your office, you just put it under your desk or whatever next to it. After work, you go out for some drinks with some buddies, you just put it right up to the bar, have one drink only, and then maybe you go to dinner, then maybe you go back home and take it with you. I go to the movies and I bring it into the movie theater, where I can just stash it right down by my feet. It's no big deal. So that's a huge benefit to the one wheel. I mean, sorry, to the EUC over the one wheel. You had a gimbal, okay. No links in live stream, at least no YouTube links. That's what I figured. Send me something otherwise. We'll find a way. I'll look them up. Stoner Dad says, hi, I'm a new EUC rider. Just got my used Z10 2 weeks ago. All right. Put 1,000 miles on my one wheel, but brand new to EUC. Yeah, man, the Z10 is a very interesting wheel. A lot of people are attracted to it because of its looks. I feel like it seduces them. Sean, who might still be in the chat, you've probably seen his videos. He had one, still has one. Not my favorite wheel to ride. I think there are much better wheels that feel much more fun. But it's definitely an attractive wheel. Like, I'm making a short film sometime this year, hopefully, and I'm probably, for the sake of visuals, going to put one of the people in the film on the Z10. It's part of the story, but I might have them on a Z10. It just looks cool. Literally already sold my one wheel. Good man. What's the best way to learn to go up curbs and hop the wheel? Well, first, to pop a curb, you have to have some speed. You go up to it and you slam the wheel at the curb. I'm pretty sure Speedy Feet on his YouTube channel, he has a whole thing on this, but you slam it into, I need a curb here. You slam it into the curb and it'll pop the wheel up because it's rubber, and then you just have to sort of like lightly lean forward and drag the wheel with you to go over. Now, like jumping and things like that's a whole other thing. I think you should probably get some of those pads that you've seen guys have on the side of their wheels that are like power pads made for jumping and all kinds of stuff. They're like these nice leather pads. I think some guys in New York City are making some, so you can buy it locally in the U.S. and not have to worry about that Russian scenario. Mario says, nah, I'm not trying to rationalize. I know it's better, but I'm very much I just want a type person. The one wheel is just something I like. That's fine. I get it. Float life, I get it. Can't really explain it. I'll buy an EUC at some point, for sure. Like everyone's saying, you'll love the EUC. Ustride says, I can explain it. It's marketing and you probably like skateboards. EUC Miami, what's up again? Only thing one wheel is better than the EUC is the name. EUC name sucks. Yeah, it kind of does. I get it. It's weird. But there was a whole discussion on this somewhere online where people were throwing out insane names like X wheel and stuff. But no matter how you like slice it, it's still nerdy, and people are still going to be like weirded out by it. At least for now. Mario's talking to you, Stride. Yeah, usually skaters dig the one wheel thing. A space bike. I had a woman say something similar. She called it a future bike, and I that actually made me more annoyed than anything else. I'm like, bike? You think this is a bicycle? They're like, yeah, isn't that a bicycle? I'm like, I don't know, but in the English language, uni equals one wheel, bi equals two wheels or two of something else. So I don't know how you can think that's a bicycle. The funniest when people think it's a hat box, like when you're trolleying your wheel in a store, like, oh, is that a hat box? That's actually, I'm not annoyed by that. I think it's funny. I love the name. When people ask what it is and I say electric unicycle, they know exactly what it is. At least it's clear. I agree. Mono wheel. I think there was a branded EUC called mono wheel, and it might have even. Is that the one that had two wheels on it? I don't like stuff that was branded someone's name before. It's got to be a unique thing that's separate from someone's branded name. That's just me. You had skaters trying your Tesla, and they went crazy over it. Yeah, the best thing is it's like skiing. No, Inmotion. There was Solo Wheel, and then there was Inmotion. I'm pretty sure they're separate companies. But then everyone just called it any EUC a Solo Wheel. People to this day do. Hey, Mickey, is that a Solo Wheel? You're like, nah, it's not. That was a company that's no longer around. I think maybe Inmotion bought Solo Wheel or something like that. It's been a while. I haven't brushed up on my EUC history. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that riding an EUC is a lot like skiing. So a skater or a surfer or a snowboarder might not love the idea of that, but that's the best way to describe what it's like riding EUC. Why, Mario? Why was it embarrassing for 8 feet? Actually, the Nikola tends to be a little bit easier for new people to ride because it's got that wider tire. Sorry, I keep kicking the table. I apologize. The camera, I think, is shaking. Nah, I'm sure it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that embarrassing. Oh, yeah, the worst offense is people calling it a hoverboard, of course. I get really sarcastic and mean when people call it a hoverboard. I have to work on that. Exactly. It's not a toy. I like to say like that's a cheap Chinese knockoff toy thing that was horrible and had no BMS in it, so it was catching fire. Nothing to do with this man's machine that I'm on here, for sure. I'm sure someone is selling a V10F somewhere. That's fine if it took you 4 days. It took me like 6 hours over the course of 3 days to pick up the EUC. So don't feel too bad. All right, well, I think throw in your last interesting questions or comments. So I'm going to wrap it up here in a few minutes and go home. You can ask me anything you want, tell me anything you want, yell at me, troll me, whatever you want. Ruckusin159 says, it took me 3 days to go straight. It took me like almost 2 days. By the end of day 3, I could awkwardly go straight and make turns, and I was ready to go on the street. But I feel like after 2 weeks, I really like had mastered just riding, and then I feel like after like 6 months, I really was like a pro. So there's like my timeline. Yeah, let's do a collab, Mario. Let's do something fun. I'll just embarrass the hell out of you calling you a lame one-wheel rider. Just kidding. I think I started EUC 2017, somewhere around there. Yeah, it's my first live stream right here. Just thought I would try it because I was really feeling sad. This has helped. My mood is much better. Talking about EUCs gets me in a good mood. Iron Korea. I don't know if they'll get off the ground. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, EUC races a thing? Sure. I mean, of course. We basically do that every day. So it's already a thing. We just don't make it like, you know, NASCAR yet. I mean, we did our drag race, but there's a lot of liability in making it up and up, you know? Like we did an underground drag race. But when it's on the up and up, it's a lot of liability involved, especially when the guy who wins might be the guy that face plants. Yeah, I knew that Rock Wheel and they're all the same in Iron Korea, but we'll see. If any of them want to send me a wheel, I'll try it out. Like I want to try any of the manufacturers' wheels all the time. Do you think we have more EUC in NYC than Cali? Hard to tell. I think the Cali community is a lot more spread out and a lot of like just chill guys riding, and not a lot of them. There's a real good handful of them that do group rides, but not everybody is like in the like sort of like LA EUC community. I think there's more people just like in their cul-de-sac. Where NYC, like if we see you on the street and we don't know you, we're gonna force you to become part of our community. So it might be the same, maybe a little bit bigger in NYC. Don't count Marty. Oh, of course, NYC has better riders. No question. But that's just like we said before. It's a nature of like, we're all here in this insane environment, and like you have to sort of like adapt, survive, thrive in this crazy environment. It makes you a better rider. So if you go to anywhere else, people are like, how did you learn to ride like that? It's like, well, it's like the pace horse in a race, right? The horse sees the pace rabbit or whatever, and that keeps him going. I feel like New York does that to you. You're riding with other people who are better than you. It makes you better. Yeah. But not everybody can be an NYC rider. Even if they're Russians faking their MS Pro speeds, or faking videos. I'm just kidding. I don't know if they're all fake. But definitely that test they did with MS Pro was a false outcome, we'll say that. The hate for the NYC rider. I think because this sport grew out of like nerd stay-at-home dads, and in New York, it was sort of like, I guess, middle to upper income guys who bought these things, were riding on. Our community here wasn't always like it. It wasn't as wild as it is now. It morphed over time, and like especially like people like me and Chris from everywhere who came from the fixed gear realm. Like we were used to that crazy life, so we kind of brought that to it. And then there were other guys who saw what we were doing and made it even crazier. And then you have VT, Frankenstein, who came out of that. So it just sort of took on a life of its own. That now I feel like NYC is the home for like the extreme sports X Games, when it comes to speed at least, version of EUC. Where LA guys, at least what we've seen from Marty's people, they're riding mountains and have beautiful vistas, and that's their thing. In Russia, they're doing a lot more tricks. Chooch out in, is he in Detroit? He's doing tricks on moto trails. I think he came from a mountain biking or a motocross background, so there's like different factions, It's cool, I like it. The Russian test was fake because Phantomus or whoever was going downhill. You can always push your wheel faster going downhill, but the second you bottom out, if you're at that top end, you'll have a cutout, and then especially your speed is unreliable because your wheel does a free spin. That's exactly what happened in his video if you watch it. He flew down a hill and went, oh, look how fast I went. That's not real. Plus, one guy one time hitting a super fast speed on an M Super Pro doesn't mean that's the actual cruising speed for everybody else. So that's why. Riding in Brooklyn every day, I can say I'm an NYC rider. Yeah, of course. I live in Brooklyn. Yeah, something nice. When I walk my dog, I watch YouTube too. How addicted are we to our phones? See you later, Ruben. I'm interested in the MS Pro. Looks like my kind of wheel. It might be. I haven't gone near that fast, but the extra torque equals safety. It can, unless you smash into the top end too hard. But yeah, it's going to give you a lot better responsiveness for sure. Yeah, Chooch is in Colorado. Yep. I did see that they use the MSX motor. That was a different test. I've seen that, but that was different from what I was referring to. It was with the 100 volt motor from the MSX. They took the 100 volt from the MSX and put it in the MS Pro. Then he said, don't do that because it's not reliable, of course. See you later, Miami. Yeah, man, for sure. I'll hit you up when I visit my family down there. All right, I think that's it. Fun times. We'll think of something fun to talk about next time, but I hope that this has made you guys feel a little bit better. A fun thing to do this evening. It has nothing to do with what's going on out there in the world. Made me so sad today, but I'm in a great mood now. So thanks for hanging out and chatting, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. You're welcome. All right, how do I shut this off?